Hey guys, I'm Yong and today we're here in HU campus to ask people about HIV. Let's go!
So have you heard of HIV?
No.
No.
So have you guys ever heard of HIV? And if you have, can you guys describe it?
Yes, but no, I don't really know about much about it. So I just know that it exists.
So you guys, where did you get the information about HIV? Where have you heard of it?
So it's from Wikipedia or some news source, and there's something related to HIV endangers people's health and it could be infectious.
Have you received any information about HIV or AIDS?
I think there is an entire advert.
Oh, Mira from Mira.
Yeah, about HIV.
Do you think the education system has provided enough information for students to know more about HIV or AIDS?
No.
No. Why?
There are only some few talks about the HIV, but didn't explain more about it.
All three of you guys, only one of you guys know about HIV. So do you think the education system is lacking on this aspect of teaching people and students about HIV?
Yeah, I think it's lacking because I don't really know what is HIV in the US. I think that HIV is lacking of some common sense in Hong Kong because the sex education in Hong Kong is not common. So if they can teach more about HIV, then people could get more understand about how HIV endangers people.
So now I have a few questions about HIV, just true or false question. Is it true that only gay people get HIV or AIDS?
No, it's not true.
No.
False.
Yeah, not true, right?
So just gonna ask you guys a few questions. It's a true or false question. It's very simple. So first one is, do only gay people get HIV?
No, false. I think.
Is HIV transmitted through blood?
Yes. I think yes. No.
Okay.
Is blood transmission of HIV or AIDS is possible?
Possible. I think possible.
Is there a treatment or cure for HIV?
Treatment, I think yes. I think yes.
What about cure?
No again. Cure maybe yes or no. I don't really know. I just know there is some treatment. As I heard.
Are there any methods to cure HIV and AIDS completely?
No.
So that's it for the interview. Since students in Hong Kong is not familiarized with what is HIV and AIDS, we're lacking of education on this matter. So what is really HIV and AIDS? Let's take a look.
Acquired immunodeficiency syndrome, also known as AIDS, it is caused by the immunodeficiency virus HIV, which weakens the human body's immune system. Both HIV and AIDS are commonly transmitted through body fluids. In Hong Kong, according to the report from the Centre of Health Protection, the number of new cases of HIV and AIDS kept increasing from 2000 to 2020. Although HIV and AIDS have long been associated with LGBTQ communities, people of any sexual orientation can get the disease.
Hong Kong has in recent years faced the ongoing challenge of high rates of HIV infection among men who have sex with men communities, which has been shown to have the highest HIV prevalence among all risk groups. A statistic showed that during 2011 to 2020, sexual contact accounted for about 86% of all reported male HIV cases. Among them, MSM accounts for about 83%. Besides, male-female transgender people were first listed as one of the main risk groups for a survey called Harris in 2014. In the survey, the overall rate of HIV in male-female transgender was found to be 18.6%. In a survey called PRISM in 2017, the overall HIV infection rate was estimated to be 5.11%.
During the 1970s, the HIV pandemic progressed to a global scale. During that time, the US was experiencing its sexual revolution. The LGBTQ community has been put under the media spotlight. Over time, HIV infections have become more prevalent in LGBTQ individuals compared to their heterosexual counterparts, especially gay men. This is because HIV has a higher transmission rate through anal sex than vaginal sex. The US government did a study linking HIV with morbidity and mortality, in which they reported several cases of severe pneumonia only in gay men infected with HIV.
The report results were covered by every new media outlet. Soon after, the US audience started linking HIV with LGBTQ communities, naming it the gay plague. Anti-gay sentiments exploded, whether it's from evangelical Christians or from conservative Republicans. This idea linking AIDS, and the gay community spread throughout the world until this today, remains to be one of the major reasons why conservative societies reject homosexuality.
Most Hong Kong people, including you, have probably heard of HIV or AIDS. But do you really know the information about them correctly? In the following, there will be several statements regarding HIV or AIDS, and let's see whether they are correct or not. Here is the first statement: HIV and AIDS are the same thing. Is it true? Of course not. HIV is a virus attacking our cells, which are in the role of body defense. HIV makes us get infections more easily, while AIDS is the disease caused by HIV. Second statement: if I got AIDS, I must die. Actually not. Patients can have a normal life with medications. There are many drugs for controlling and inhibiting the metabolism of HIV viruses.
The first statement is that if the mother has HIV, her child must also be positive. The answer is no. Doctors can prescribe HIV medicine that lowers the viral load of the mother to an undetectable level. She should take her medicine as prescribed through the whole pregnancy, including the labor process. It is also crucial that she gives HIV medicine to her baby for 4 to 6 weeks after birth and prevent breastfeeding. These methods can lower the risk of transmitting HIV to the fetus to almost zero. The last statement is that HIV can be transmitted through kissing and oral sex. It is also a no. HIV is not transmitted through saliva. It is only contracted when body fluid of an infected person enters the blood of an uninfected person. How about oral sex? It is extremely rare for this to happen, unless there is ejaculation in the mouth with damaged tissue, due to reasons like bleeding gums or after dental procedure like tooth extraction.
Due to these misconceptions, people with HIV and AIDS are facing several discriminations in this society. For example, they may be rejected when applying for jobs, looking for accommodation, or even when receiving medical treatment. Because of the labeling, people with HIV and AIDS are afraid to talk about their situations with the others. In an interview with Thomas, her wife faced discrimination when seeking for medical treatment. The medical center refused to accommodate her after knowing that she was an AIDS patient. In fact, a study by Hong Kong AIDS Foundation in 2015 reveals that over half of the medical centers refuse to receive patients with HIV, while only 20% of them are willing to do so. This reflects the phenomenon of HIV and AIDS patients' human rights being violated in Hong Kong society.
Not only in workplace and seeking for medical help, HIV and AIDS patients also suffer from discrimination on social relationships. These people often lack respect and support from others in reality, while a number of them are considered as shame and are therefore rejected from the social circle at large because of the unacceptance from their friends and family members. In many of the cases, it is very common that the diagnosis of these sex-related diseases will lead to irreversible negative changes on family relationships and friendships. In fact, such form of discrimination is also deteriorating under the spread of mass media. Being an important channel to influence public attitudes and introduce relevant knowledge about these diseases, some media platforms describe individuals who contracted HIV as deviant and dangerous people. As a result, this inappropriate information with biases and false statements will create more misunderstandings to society and worsen the issue.
I guess you might have heard of some of the misconceptions or situations from the above too. Even if not, the correct concept of AIDS and HIV is worth educating the public to set the record straight through comprehensive sex education. Yet, there is still not enough attention given to sex education in Hong Kong. According to some studies, the score of students for their understanding of HIV and STDs are declining year by year, which shows the lack of understanding of sexually transmitted disease among our teenagers. Therefore, apart from promoting annual body checks, it is also important to educate our youth on practicing safe sex.
One of the easiest ways to prevent the transmission of HIV is to conduct safe sex practices with the proper use of condoms. According to an article by Wayne D. Johnson, the use of condoms lowers 91% of the odds of contracting HIV when used consistently and correctly for gay couples, while the chances rise to 83% for those who don't. For heterosexual couples, research conducted by the National Library of Medicine found out that more than 70% of HIV transmission between couples can be reduced with the correct and consistent use of condoms. Therefore, condoms will be useful in preventing the transmitting of HIV during sexual intercourse.